Yo, what's up? I'm UndaSkore. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a jazzy hip hop beat for To Pimp A Butterfly. Let's dive straight into it. So we're working at 92 beats per minute and we're going to start off with this atmospheric sound which I'm going to use as a texture and build everything based off of this. So a bit of reverb, a bit of EQ, and we're now going to build a drum pattern on top of this. I think when you're doing these more sort of boom bappy type beats, it's better to start off with the drums. Usually I'm always a melody first sort of guy, but for this I think you want to get that bounce and the groove going, and then on top of that you can start figuring out what chords work. Let's record the clap and snare first, just going to layer them together, play it in so it's got more human element to it. So for the kick I played it in live just to get the right placement of the notes, but I have quantized it because I want the kicks to be on grid and I'll let the hats and the snares be off grid, and that's what's going to give it the sort of dragging quality. Next for the hi-hats, I'm going to do several different layers of like shaker, hi-hat, slow and fast. So that gives us this for the drums. So now to process the drums, I'm putting a shaper box on it. This is something I've started doing a lot recently because you can do some really cool effects, whether it's using the filter, panning, volume, drive or whatever. So you can get an entirely different bounce to what you had originally. Oh. I think this is the one. Now for To Pimp A Butterfly type beat, you want to make sure you have those sort of neo soul jazzy chords, which is going to be a lot of sevenths, major sevenths, minor sevenths. So that's a G major seventh. And we'll go down to the G flat minor seventh. I have no idea what chord this is. I think we've got the basic idea down of what I wanted. Fiddle around with it a bit. So there we go, with a little bit of fiddling we've managed to make it sound really smooth, really soulful. So all I've done is take the progression that I figured out and played before, inverted a few notes, added a few higher notes. You see adding a passing chord at the end of every couple of bars. Yeah, let's use this as the foundation and we'll go from here. Now we've frozen the piano, turned it to audio so that we can process it and do some sort of cool things with it. And the first cool thing we're going to do is actually copy it over and reverse each chord, and that should give a really nice effect hopefully. Next I'm going to move on to the bass before I go on to any other melodies, just because I want to make it sound really full. It makes it easier to work on. And the plan for the bass line is to do something that Kendrick has in a lot of his beats, which is to have an A and B section. So I want to have one that's a bit more simple, follows the chord progression, root notes only, and then another one where you play around more walking notes, and that just allows you to switch between the two, keep things interesting really. Just leaving a lot of space. I think that sounded pretty good. A little bit of fiddling as usual and it will be perfect. You can see the difference in the whole track, like the whole vibe changes when you have a bit more rhythm in it. So it's really cool to have alternating sections because you can change the whole feel of the track. Just as usual, I've got a compressor on there, sidechain to the kick. And also FabFilter Saturn, standard distortion for some of the mids. Turned it off on the lows and the highs. It just makes it sound a bit better and fuller on different systems. Now going back to the melody to finish this all off, I want to add a few more layers, a bit of ear candy, and this is what's going to make it as interesting and cool as possible. So we're starting off with a sample which I found somewhere and it's really, really cool. I think layered with the chord progression, just EQ out a lot of the lows and just automate the panning so it goes from like left to right and things like that. So I think that's a cool little layer that you can bring in at different parts to build the tension, maybe before the hook. It just adds a bit more urgency to the sort of laid back nature of the song overall. Next I want to add like a nice little piano trill, which I could do by myself live. But instead I'm going to look through Synthtopia, which is a new pack I've just recently got from Kavi. Oh, that's perfect. We're just going to chop out the beginning and the middle and we'll just use that little trill there. So good. So you can instantly see the impact of having little bits of ear candy like that. It just makes all the difference in the world to the track. I'm just going to look for a few more of those in the same pack, see what we find. Random guitar lick from a Cymatic stem. Guitar licks always sound good in any sort of R&B, neo-soul, jazz, blues, whatever. I think the last thing we need is just going to be some strings, and for this we can just basically copy the progression. So I'm just going to finish arranging it now, turn it into a full beat. Hopefully this has shown you how easy it can be to make these sort of jazzy, boom bappy, neo soulful Kendrick Lamar To Pimp A Butterfly type beats. All you need is a really good groove for the drum bounce, a really basic chord progression that's really smooth, and then you just add lots of ear candy. Pretty simple from there. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Otherwise, have a good one. Peace out.